when these people take these oaths to secret societies, these Illuminati children and anybody who in politics today that are involved with these Masonic and Freemasonry societies, when you take an oath to that, to an oath to Lucifer, to the God of light, they can no longer be held to their oath that they take to this country. They are taking an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States when they take the office of president in this country, knowing they're lying because they cannot keep that oath and be in the secret society that they serve. So their oath to Lucifer takes precedence over their oath as being president of this country. And we've seen over the last 40 years every president get into office and pass legislation to usurp the authority of the Constitution.
Right, and that's the whole idea. The war against the United States, it began a long time ago. The idea of the sovereignty and freedom for people is egregious to people that are on the satanic side, which is, well, I mean, what does the satanic side thrive on? It thrives on control. Big brother, that's a satanic thing. And spiritual slavery, i.e. trying to force people into spiritual slavery or spiritual conformity to the dark side in exchange for provision and to keep them on the hook with fear, i.e. if you talk, we'll kill you. If you talk about your affiliation, we'll kill you. If you don't cover for people in this organization, we'll kill you. If you don't cover for your brothers over here who murdered people, we'll kill you. If you want to have the good life and have the wife and the kids in the private school and all that, you'll shut up and do what we tell you or we'll kill you.
Right.
Now that's every single politician in the world.
And these politicians meet regularly once a year. I had Tim White on here a couple weeks ago. We were talking about the sacrificing of humans they do in Colorado. We know they sacrifice babies in Colorado. They sacrifice humans out at Bohemian Grove.
I got news for you. They sacrifice humans everywhere on the planet.
Well, I'm talking about the Bushes and the Cheneys, the top elite who will get together every year at Colorado Springs and sacrifice a baby to Satan.
Well, and it gets more bizarre. If anyone is even seen as having seen, when people saw Clinton snort coke, okay, their plane would go down, their helicopter would crash, or an assassin would be sent out, a sniper, to pick him off at a certain place. The body would be taken and it would be, written up as an accident, an auto accident or so, a missing person.
Oh, yeah, the skiing into a tree, small plane going down.
Yes, okay, all that kind of stuff, and that's mainly to keep the lid on. So when you add to it keeping the lid on, the shenanigans with the aliens and the affiliation with the dark side underground bases, and that's really tied into the Satanism in a very big way. Satanic ritual and the UFOs are connected. Satanic ritual abuse of children and aliens are connected. The control of the planet is not by alien, but by entities, which are basically satanic vessels, beholden to Satan, stronger than human, and the only way the human's going to get out of it is through Yahushua. That's the only way. I don't even know any other way, actually. I don't know any other gate.
There is no other way. There is no other way.
I looked.
Yeah.
I can't imagine someone sitting there with a mantra chanting all night. And saying, please. And here's some of the bad things that happen. Okay. They don't have to actually come up and put a bullet in your head. They can get together and with the power that they have, with the demon inside them, they can woo you off a cliff.
Right.
They can woo you. For example, I had post-traumatic stress from, this is something, I haven't talked about in a while, but for example, these cards that were sent, they triggered me. It was horrifying that they know my address.
Oh, well, they know, they've got us all down. Now, why do you think they would be sending you a death threat? Am I coming in as an echo? Because I'm hearing an echo on my end.
Is it me?
And do you hear an echo when I speak?
A little bit.
Okay, because I'm hearing echo. Why do you think that they would send you a death threat?
Well, it's because they, I guess, at one time invested a lot in me. And I'm, still considered property, and they feel like a sense of vengeance because I got away.
Right. And you've mentioned this numerous times on interviews and in books you've written.
Well, you remember in the book Glass Backwards when they would show the blue card and the, you know what I mean, and the white card, and then they would suddenly go into another trance?
Yeah, I think I was reading where they say, look into the light.
Or look at the blue light, yeah. Look at the white light. And that's all programming, and why do they do that? Well, they do that with pretty much everyone, and they control everything. I mean, in my own life, okay, it was all fabricated. In other words, people that were my friends, the school I went to, the people that were in the school, hospitalizations I had, when I went to seek help through doctors or psychiatrists, those were all, it was all controlled. And I thought I had a free will life. No, I thought I had a normal life. And yet, all these things were controlled. Everywhere I would go, everyone I would phone. And so now my problem is that sometimes I think that everyone, you know, that I'm still not free and that everyone is really going to turn out to be one of them. And I try to surround myself with people who don't know anything about all that.
Right. So you don't see a boogeyman behind every tree.
But I'm telling you, there are times where I get triggered by something like this, where I think I look at the neighbors, and I look at the grocer, and I look at the gas station attendant, and I think they're all in on it. They're tracking me. And I got to tell you, it's then it takes a while to get unraveled from that, but that's because of how strong the programming was, and because of how many people in my life were like that. Now multiply that by the society itself. Multiply that by, you know, all these kids involved, all the people that went to this school, all these people involved in this thing, all of them controlled, all of them working on that side of things. And people like us who are broken. In other words, I was never, you know, one they could use in being on the team. They use us. They use me for psychic ability. They use me for all kinds of things. They use me as a battery. They use me as a scapegoat to push me down so they could build their power up. In other words, siphon off power from me because I was not dead like they were. So I still had a connection to God. So they try to take the Holy Spirit out of people who are lambs. You may notice they try to take the lambs being people who have never been on that side and or have been afflicted by it, but it's just spiritually different. They can't go there. So they know that we can't be conformed to that side from an early age, for me from 3 years old. They know that. Now my brother, he wound up dead at 33 years old, which was perfect. He was used up and he killed him. And somehow I kept going, and I'm still here.
Well, the Lord has a plan for you.
People pray, and I am conscious of the Lord, and I cry out to Him, and I ask Him to guide me. And so many times He told me, get out of there, or go left, go over here. Don't. They invite you somewhere, don't do it. See what I mean?
Yeah.
But still, there are triggers that come. For example, I have self-destruct programming. I have to fight that off so I don't kill myself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to, for no reason, in the middle of the day, everything's fine. All of a sudden, I have this overwhelming urge to self-destruct in any way, shape, or form. And I, at times, have been known to be hiding under a desk, saying, please don't hurt me, to everyone around me.
And you could recognize these attacks as what they are.
Well, I'm just saying that's been my experience. It's been horrible. It's been like living in a horror movie.
And
now,
so,
I'm being kind of candid on this show because, you know, usually I comment on everything going on outside. But I'm just now realizing I have had no life. I've had this never at peace, always feeling like this is a setup because of how many setups there have been. And so I'm wondering, am I going to die before I'm at peace here, or is this just going to be having to unravel this one step at a time until finally